Lance,
Rhett, what is up, my friend? How we doing?
I'm crossing my fingers. You want to tell people why?
Yeah. So we've recorded episode 50, like a partial a bit about 3 times now.
Yeah. We're kind of back where we started with some like errors in our recording process.
I feel like that's great. You know, it's like it's like a good, like if you're preaching or a good speech, like you got to have that tie back to how you started it all off.
Yeah, totally. So here we are back to the beginning. But thankfully, R.O. Smith has jumped on the bandwagon here with us and been a huge help the last several months, editing video and sound. So thankfully he was listening. Thank you, R.O.
R.O., we are extremely thankful for everything that you do for us. Like, this has been so awesome to be able to have a dependable person that can make up for our foolhardy or whatever goofball lack of knowledge imbecility.
Yeah, if you go to our Spotify or Apple under the bio, you'll see his name listed as our video and audio engineer.
Yes.
It's a very high-paying job.
Very high paying. He was actually a guest too. He did a good job.
Yeah, we brought him on. He's new to the RT world, and so it was awesome. So, you know, we want to kind of wrap up the year in episode 50 here, talk about next season, also talk about this season, what we learned, actually give some stats, which I think are helpful.
Cool.
But go back to when I asked you to do a podcast. What were you thinking? Be honest.
Okay. Do you want me to be like the real honest?
Yeah, man. Be the real honest.
Okay. Number one, I was super humbled. But then there's another part of me of like that feeling of being a cliche. Like, you know what I mean? That like, hey, I got a podcast now type person.
Yeah.
And we did it. I mean,
yep.
I think I didn't really, when you asked me to do it, I was super humbled. I think it's like, and we've seen that it's like it's a helpful thing for people. But yeah, there's definitely a big part of me that felt so like being the sellout, or I don't even know what you call it, because it's not like there's a part like, and we're gonna do this. That's a thing. We're gonna do a podcast.
Yeah, it's one of those cultural things, you know, over the last couple of decades when blogs started. Eventually everyone had a blog, right?
I'm a blogger.
And then everyone had their like certain social media profiles and everyone jumped on the podcast. But the secret for me is that, you know, it's not a secret, so I'll tell everybody here. I would do this regardless if anyone ever listened. Like, I enjoy getting on with you each week talking. I enjoy having guests. I enjoy processing things and writing things. That's how I learn. That's how I grow. And our goal is just to stay steadily consistent for however long this journey goes.
Yeah, I'd agree, man. Like, it's really fun. I enjoy hanging out with you. I love the way you think about things. I love the way you process things. And I like, it's been fun asking others like about restoration therapy. So it's been an honor to be able to join you.
Let's do a couple of things then. I'm going to start by reading you a few stats from this year because I think it's just fun. And then let's talk about what we learned about ourselves and about the RT community this last year. And let's look ahead to next year and tell people what we're going to be doing.
Sweet.
Sounds good?
Man. I think, people are going to be stoked for the end. So, yeah.
So, okay, I want to read you a few stats for our humble little podcast, which I think is fun. You know, because I think it's more people listen than I think you thought would.
Yeah. But I like to imagine that there's 30 people that listen. And part of that 30 is 10 of my people that work for me. Because I pay them to listen to it.
But, you know, they're very small numbers compared to the podcast that most of us listen to, right? But so, for example, audio podcast, which we posted to Apple and Spotify, and it shows up on a few other places. 58.6% of people streamed on Apple and 29.5% on Spotify. So between those two platforms, our podcast was downloaded 4,606 times.
What?
Pretty awesome, right?
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
People spent
4,000?
700, yeah, 4,606 times.
Oh my
People
gosh.
spent 740 hours listening to the RT dialogue.
Oh, 740 hours? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. That's like 2 hours, a little over 2 hours a day. People were listening to the RT dialogue this year.
Wow. That's
So,
okay.
yeah. On Spotify itself, we have 89 followers who follow us just on the Spotify app.
Okay. What?
We're like
Okay. I
subscribed
like
to
to.
that.
I thought there was like maybe like 30 people listening. So
Yeah.
that's way more.
303 different people were reached through the podcast. So 303 different unique profiles on Apple and Spotify were listened to it.
Wow.
Cool.
Okay.
Audience
That's
is
a lot of people.
52.3% female, 43%
Okay.
male. And
Ah,
then
right in the middle
four,
there. Okay.
yeah, 4.5% just don't specify anything. So we don't know.
Hey,
The
good for
largest
you.
list,
I respect that.
the largest listing group, which was about 34%, was people between the ages of 35 to 44.
Okay.
So younger than us.
Yeah, that is younger than us.
Eight countries listen. So the number one top country is United States, followed by
Okay.
Australia, then Germany,
Hey.
then UK, then Russia, then South Korea, then the Philippines, then Japan.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
That's great. I don't know how to say thank you in all the different languages, but konnichiwa.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Of the 50 episodes, what do you think was the most popular on Spotify and Apple? What
Uh,
was listened to the most, do you think?
well, I feel pretty confident in this one. It's
Okay.
got to be one of the Terry and Sharon ones. I don't know which one, but it's got to be that.
Episode 4 with Terry and Sharon.
Yeah.
Yep. Most popular episode of the year.
Yeah. That was a great episode. You got to go back and listen to it.
Yeah, and that one had, I don't have the number in front of me. It was something like 270 listens and stuff. So just kind of give you an idea about episode breakdown. So that's the audio. We also put us up on YouTube, and I'm no expert, but when I look at the social media landscape and growth, it seems like YouTube is where people are headed. Um, Video is huge, video search. One of the things I didn't share is that our podcast was in the top 10% of all podcasts this year for videos watched.
What?
Yep. So
Top 10%?
On Spotify, you can watch the video on
Yeah.
Spotify,
Yeah.
and they do a year-end wrap up. And I got an email saying your RT dialogue made the top 10% of all podcasts globally for people watching the video.
That's
So
crazy.
yeah, which tells you something also about, I guess maybe video is not that popular on Spotify. It's popular. There's probably like us, and then the top 1% is probably, they probably have like 800 million downloads or something like that.
Yeah. I always thought I had a face made for radio, but I guess the video is okay. Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
So back to YouTube. We posted on YouTube. Our YouTube videos for the podcasts had 1,800 views this year.
Okay.
People spent 375 hours on YouTube watching the RT dialogue.
Okay.
That's a lot. 375
Yeah.
hours. I mean, that's more than I would have thought. There are 51 subscribers on the YouTube channel.
Really?
Yep, 51 subscribers. Now, what do you think the top video was on YouTube for the podcast?
Video. I think it's gonna be one of the Tanner episodes because those episodes are really good, but they're really worth watching.
Those were high, as were the Nancy Freegard group. But no, Ron Deal, episode 7, was the most watched video
Oh.
on YouTube.
He does have a good setup. He
I was
has
gonna
a great
say,
setup.
our buddy Ron's got a huge following too. So
Yeah. Love that guy. He's been a good support for us. Like
Yeah.
kind of pushing us along, doing how to do better.
Yeah. Thank you, Ron.
Much
So
love.
that's YouTube. We talked about Spotify, Apple. So let's talk about Substack. People are even like, Rhett, what is Substack, right?
I'm
So
still figuring it out.
yeah, it's just a platform for writing and video content. It's gained huge popularity in the last couple of years. It's a subscription based. People can pay or it's free. Ours is free.
Of
So
course.
we have 156 subscribers to our Substack.
Oh, what?
It's a lot. Yep, 156. So our
Wow.
Substack this year had 19,000 visits to it.
What?
Yep.
19,000?
Yep, 19,000. A lot of that has to do because it was push people subscribing, it goes to their email, but we had 19,000 visits to the Substack in 2025.
Whoa.
Yep.
That's what? 19,000? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Huh.
22 states are subscribed and 4 countries. So, what do you
Whoa.
think the top states are subscribed to our Substack?
I'm going to go with either California or Texas because that's where we're from. What do you think?
Yep. Texas is number 1, followed by California, Oklahoma, Georgia, and then Ohio. Pretty
Whoa.
cool.
Okay. Love it. That's great.
Top 4 countries. What do you think the top 4 countries are?
USA. Let's go with um oh gosh. I think Australia could make it again, right?
Pretty close.
New
So
Zealand?
it's US is number 1, Austria is number 2, Australia is number 3, Mexico is number 4.
Ah, muy bien. Eh. Uh-huh. Love it.
Okay. And the stat that kind of blew my mind, we talked about this a little bit. You know how we push our podcast, right? It goes to Substack and people like check it out that way. Which episode do you think had the most popularity through the Substack channel?
Okay. It's got to be an early one. I'm going to say Michael Cox.
Nope. He was
What?
pretty high though. So
Michael
Bisala,
Cox, that guy's great. He's
he
got the
is.
look and everything.
Bisala, Bisala was our number
Oh
1.
yeah, that was a fun episode.
Yeah. I know I'm not pronouncing her name correctly there. Bisola, I think I'm saying it right. We did good on the podcast with her, but then I kind of go a little haywire sometimes saying it correctly. If you're listening, her podcast was opened up by 1,238 different emails.
Wow.
Yeah. The closest to that was about 340 opened emails. So
Whoa.
when we dug into it, I think what happened is her podcast is really popular that people forwarded that Substack email to different people in our network. And so Bisola wins the award by far. Her episode was opened up in email by 1,238 different people.
Wow. Thanks,
Crazy.
Bisala.
Yeah. That says something about her network and what she had to say. And
She was great.
Yeah.
For someone that like reached out to us and like kind of called us out, I loved her. I thought she was great.
Yeah, she reached out and said, "You got to have my professor
Yeah.
on the podcast who taught me RT, Dr.
Yeah.
Kassar."
Yeah.
And so we're like, "Well, if we're going to have your professor on, let's have
Yeah.
you on."
You
You
first.
know? Yeah, and she was awesome. So
Yeah.
hopefully we'll have her on again too, again this next year.
That'd be
So
great.
anyways, just kind of breaking it down. If I didn't put all the numbers together, but if I kind of put all the numbers together, with YouTube, Substack, the audio stream, for example, we had about 26,000 different visits, people listening either through Substack, Spotify, Apple, YouTube. So that's pretty awesome. I'm just really happy that people were excited about, RT dialogue.
That's great. I mean, it's a worthy topic to talk about, and I guess we are goons enough to, yeah, to do that. You told me that it was going to be that we were doing well, and I was like, man, we got to step our game up, right? You're in the text messaging,
Yeah, I'm like, no,
like, no,
uh,
don't.
we want to keep it there's some things we can improve on for sure, but we want to keep it down to earth and
Totally.
authentic, and you know, not try to get too fancy, because that's when we would not be consistent. We're just too busy to spend too much time on the podcast during the week. That's the
Yeah,
reality.
totally. And
So
I think you're right. We have that same mentality. We just do this because it's fun to hang out with each other and
yeah,
learn more.
this is one of the many things that we've been doing this year in the RT community. But
Yes.
hey, maybe I'll put these numbers together in a little portfolio and send off to Viore, see if they'll sponsor our podcast.
Yes. Hey, Vuori, thank you for sponsoring RT Dialogue.
Maybe they can take some of that Arch Manning NIL money and send it our way that they've been giving him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We could be like the dream knit ones, helping people to establish their dreams
Yeah.
because we knit everything together so well.
Yeah. I love it. And, I'll say this, the one thing I didn't do intentionally this year, I didn't post I posted a couple of little edits to my social media of the podcast, but I did not create an RT dialogue, Instagram, things
Yeah.
like that. And several reasons. One is just don't have the time or bandwidth. Number two, I think what I've really appreciated about the ethos of the RT community and what Sharon and Terry have done is this idea of just going deep
Yeah.
and having deep roots. And I think, if you're gonna, it's, you can listen to a little blurb on a social media and kind of miss the whole context of a conversation, right?
Yeah.
But a podcast requires you to kind of listen in,
Hmm.
as does watching a YouTube video or
Yeah.
actual doing the work of subscribing to the Substack and getting that and being a part of the community. And so it was an intentional decision that I thought, our purpose is to go deep, to invite people in the community to be involved. And so for now, at least, let's stay away from just quick sound bites that maybe get people excited about something, but there's really no interest in involvement in the community. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I think that's right. I think I feel like there probably are a bunch of good ones that we could do on there, but
For
that
sure.
requires a lot of work.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean we wouldn't ever, but again, this may be anecdotal, but I've been doing a lot of research and reading and listening to things. And, social media has become so glutted, and it's easy to take things out of context. And even talking to some authors now where, people want a big online presence, but what they're finding is that just because you have a big social media following doesn't mean people are going to buy your book, right?
Right.
And we could have a lot of followers, maybe in RT Dialogue, social media platform. But what I really care about is that people took time out during the week to actually listen to an episode or to watch a video or to subscribe and read through an email. And that's just really paid off. We see a lot of people getting involved in this community, a lot of cool things happening. So, anyways, I just wanted to speak to that too.
That's great, man. Hey, yeah, and thanks for listening, all you people out there that
Yeah.
engage with us. It's certainly humbling for us, and we're very thankful that you're enjoying, or at least putting up with the work.
Yeah. It's been a fun journey. So all to say is, Lance, okay, we've spent about almost, not quite, but 10 months, 10 and a half months, almost 11 months
Yeah.
interviewing people, talking to people. You and I have been gabbing on during the week, multiple times a week. What's the biggest thing you've learned this year about doing the podcast, about the RT community, about the theory itself? Anything that you've learned that's really stood out?
Yeah. I mean, I think one thing I'm learning is just the beauty of our community. Um, I think I tend to look up a lot and not around. And I think one of the things that this has really allowed us to do, like, you know, because I'm like always think about Terry, what would Terry say? What would Terry or Sharon like think about how they've poured into us so much? But the RT dialogue has really given us an opportunity to look around us, talking with people. And I think I just love there's our common language, but then our different expression of the common language. So that's been really
Mm.
fun for me as like in doing this podcast specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, man? What have you learned?
Yeah, I think I've just learned how vibrant the RT community is and how many people out there love this model
Yeah.
and how much more expansive and broad it's not the right word. How much more expansive it's being used across the country and practices across the globe. Um, just to kind of get people actually on the podcast, people sending emails from different places. You know, I had a sense we kind of know that there's a lot of people practicing RT, and that Terry and Sharon have hands-on trained a lot of people, mentored a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I think I've even like through this year been like, wow, this community is way bigger than I already imagined, and people are very passionate about it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's been very clear. Yeah. It's just, it's really fun. It's really expanding. I think it has that staying power of a therapy model that, you know, since it's so grounded in, you know, good, like good science, and good theology. I think it has that really good staying power.
Yeah, and you say that because there's a lot of models who've disappeared over the years.
Oh, totally. Or
Tons.
models that are fads. It's like
Yeah.
it's really fun to do this, but then yeah,
And popular models that we won't name on the podcast, but popular models that are dying out as we speak
yeah,
and losing momentum pretty fast. So, yeah, it has a real deep grassroots
I'd
effort
agree.
to it.
Yeah.
What maybe the different question is any big surprises doing the podcast this year in the RT community that just like, whoa, I didn't expect that.
I mean, let's see here. I'm trying to think. I I mean, my surprise is whenever I hear people that are listening to it. That's like that's always the big surprise for me. I'm like, oh, that's great. You like this? Okay, cool. Um,
Yeah. You've
yeah,
you and I have been on the receiving end of some text messages from people who were like, "Hey, I was in a training and people were talking about the RT dialogue."
yeah. Like, oh, that's probably been. I mean, that's
That's
like a
fun. It's a
personal
fun surprise.
surprise.
Yeah.
Um, uh, I, I don't. I think I'm surprised to see like just this whole. I don't know. I feel like the big surprise to me is like it feels like we're in a big shift right now, for restoration therapy. Um, that's I was not expecting that. As we dialogue with everybody, as we connect with everybody, it feels like RT is like on like we've dug down really good roots. And it feels like we're ready to expand a lot more. So to me, that's really like very surprising to see that happen and to be like feels like we're like right on the cusp of it.
Yeah, it's interesting. It
What
does
surprised
feel
you? Oh, good.
yeah, I think like the biggest surprise for me, and I don't know if this is, I don't know if it totally surprises. Let me say what it is. How many people are alone and lonely as therapists
Yeah.
and had no place to connect? You know, therapy by nature can be a pretty, you know, and everyone's in a group practice like the one that you have. A lot of
Right.
like therapists alone on their own. And so as we got into conversations with people, or I had emails of people during the year talking who reached out about things, they heard
Yeah.
something. I was surprised in many ways how many of us are doing therapy kind of alone
Mm.
and and didn't have a place or a tool or a model where they can refine their craft. And so there's and myself included, I have my own private practice. And
Yeah.
part of the reason I wanted to start the dialogue and get more involved in the community was like, I hate the feeling of being alone as a therapist. And
Mhm.
so it just made me think there are lots of people around the world who do therapy sitting in office who maybe never ever train again,
Yeah.
ever. Like they may get some CEUs online and go to something, but they don't train. And so I think what I'm surprised by is how many people were really eager this year to get involved in the RT community who haven't been for a while. And that can be through listening to the podcast or showing up at trainings, coming
Yeah.
to the summit,
Summit.
coming to some other events. And that's what it was a surprise. And I think also something that's not totally um, crazy to expect that people are dying to find a community, right? And I
Yeah.
think RT offers this place where there's a desire to grow as a therapist, and that's promoted at the top by Terry and Sharon.
Absolutely.
And I just was like, wow, people are dying to get connected and to keep learning and growing as a therapist. And that's a cool finding for me.
Yeah. I think it's a really good insight as far as the loneliness of everything. And then because I feel like as a therapist, you can get away with really shoddy work. Um,
Yeah.
like literally people pay the exact same no matter what. And, they'll self-select. But if you do good RT, then you're actually working yourself out of the job because people get better quicker. So, yeah. So it's like easy to get away with not doing good work.
I think there's an expectation if you're a part of this community in any form and you're showing up at things or events, is that there's an expectation that um, you're going to be challenged in a positive way and you're going to be asked to
Yeah.
grow as a therapist. And I think that's unique to this model. I just think it is.
Yeah.
I've been around a lot of models. I think that's unique and it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Terry always, I had consulted with Terry for years. I'd say like probably over like about a little around over a decade for sure. And he would close out every time with me. I'm sure he's done it for all of you that listen in, where he says, "Go and be the best therapist in the world." And like I really take that to heart. Of like we are given gifts that come into our office every single day, and we get to care for them. So that's the reality.
Yeah. Here's another surprise that I had. Um, how many people listening to the podcast were put in their pain because they listened to all these other therapists and crazy interventions and things, and they felt inadequate as a therapist,
Oh,
or they felt like because I'm on this podcast, I'm doing all these things correctly and right. And I think it was cool to have conversations with these people and myself included to say, hey, we're all like learning this, we're all learning this together.
yeah, I would agree. I would agree. Yeah, and I would also add if there's probably other people that are in their pain because they weren't asked to be on. We're asking everybody to be on. So if you ever listen to this podcast and like we want
Yeah.
this is your invitation. We love any RT person, and you're probably sitting there thinking like, oh, not me, not me. No, you. We're talking to you. So we'd love to have you
Yeah.
join us if you're listening.
If you're listening or know somebody who should be on, or you've already been on, want to come on again, yeah.
Yeah,
Email
we love it.
rhett@rhettsmith.com, Lance all AHL at gmail.com,
Come
or
on on.
restoration therapy dialogue at gmail.com. Hit us up and we will have you on.
Game on.
All right. And I mean that in a positive way, by the way. It is, I think as therapists, we all feel inadequate sometimes as therapists when we watch somebody in the room work or do beautiful work, you know?
Yeah,
And so that's not a bad thing. I think it challenges us to continue to grow.
totally. I would agree with that.
Okay, Lance,
Talk to me, Goose.
looking ahead, season 2. What are we excited about?
Okay. I am excited because there's been this project I've been wanting to do with the podcast that kind of came up in my heart a few months ago. So I am excited to do a series called RT Sessions. And I want to break down first session, working through the pain cycle, kind of questions I ask. I have a little cheat sheet I use. And I want to hear how you do things, talking through interventions, using the interventions, just kind of getting the whole flow of therapy. Because I think it would be really useful for people when they're getting into the therapy. I know we have a lot of new people that listen to us that are newer therapists. So I'm really excited to do that series with you.
Yeah, and even someone like me who's been around the model for 15 years, like there's a lot of things I need to relearn and do better and that I kind of forget about, or things that we've developed in the model that are different than maybe when I first learned,
Yeah.
and it's easy to get kind of lazy in the chair and get out of sync with some things. So I'm excited to watch you do that. That's really cool. So yeah, having some sessions, some episodes where we take people through the process of doing RT therapy essentially.
Yes. What are you excited about,
Also,
Rhett?
we're gonna branch out outside of the RT community too, and bring people in who aren't therapists in the community. Some have been exposed to RT and are practicing it in some different ways. Like we have a professor coming on who uses it as a model in her communications classes
Nice.
at a university. There's some names you and I want to bring in who are pastors or theologians who I think we can talk about the RT model with them, and we can in the process just kind of integrate the work that they're doing with the model. So just having people come in from the outside who we can grow and learn from, I think will be really
Yeah.
helpful.
Do you think we could get that big pastor from Bel Air Presbyterian Church to come on?
Drew Sams, Drew, will have you on at some point.
Please, Drew, join us.
Drew's my brother-in-law, also a close friend of Lance, um, who has been exposed to RT at length and stuff. So kind of getting a
Yes.
pastoral perspective on it. I also am excited just to meet more people in the RT community. Like we said, we want to meet you
Yeah.
or have you back on because we want to continue to grow in our connections with people in the RT community.
So
The other
good.
piece we'll do differently, I think we're going to lean into just doing more practical interventions.
Yeah.
So it won't be just, hey, get to know this person. It's more like, let's talk more about the work you're doing and how that work shows up so that people listening can learn more about what it means to be an RT therapist. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, like nailing down like, hey, I have a personality, I have a borderline personality disorder come in the room. What am I supposed to do if I have ADHD? What does RT look like with that? I think I'm excited for those. That'll be great.
Yeah, and if people listening have any things that they want us to cover,
Yeah.
feel free to send us an email, reach out, whatever, and we'd be more than happy. We, consider this a privilege to be able to do this stuff. And one of the things too, that, if you have things that are on the calendar for 2026, things that you're putting on, events that you're excited about. I've created a link at the top of the Substack for upcoming events, but we want to each episode, hey, talk about what's going on in the RT community this week or this month. So if you got stuff you want us to advertise that you're doing,
Yeah.
let us know. We'd love to share that. There's tons of things happening, and we're only aware of a small part of it.
Yes, we are excited. Anything RT. If you're presenting it somewhere, tell us about it. If you're learning something new about how it fits, or if an article comes out, let us know.
Yeah. Other than that, if you're listening, if you haven't subscribed to Substack, go over and subscribe to our Substack. It's just RT Dialogue. Just Google uh, Substack RT Dialogue. That stuff is always in our show notes as well.
Yeah.
Subscribe on Spotify and Apple. Subscribe to the YouTube. Why is that important? It actually helps people find the podcast when people subscribe to it. Um, and it's helpful for us, and people can leave comments there. So please do that if you've enjoyed the podcast this year. If you want to leave a review, I think that's super helpful too,
Hmm.
for us. Um, Anything else, Lance, as we close this year out that you want to say or just share about the podcast or about RT?
I'm curious, Rhett, if you were to write a review on the RT dialogue, um, what would your review be?
Oh man, I don't. You know, it's a tough because since we were doing it, but I don't know. Like it, if I'm writing from my perspective, we accomplished more than I thought we would. Like we
Yeah.
set out, we met a lot of people, we engaged in a lot of different topics. Um, you know, I think there are things we could have done better from a simple sound and video perspective, and I think that's why RO recognized that. That's why Ron sent us a couple of emails to kind of help encourage us in some areas, and um, you know, so I think there's some things we can do better from just making it cleaner from a production
Yeah.
standpoint. Um, but I'm happy with the overall feel of it. If I had more time in my schedule, I would do a lot more research. I
Yeah.
think for each guest and for each topic, I don't with the therapy schedule I have and the
Hmm.
coaching schedule and writing and speaking, just stuff like you. But I kind of like I like to know enough, but to fly blind a little bit because I want things to not be too rehearsed. I want things to feel natural. I want them to feel authentic. I don't want this to feel like not that it ever would, but there are some podcasts out there that are so polished and editing and stuff. It does it for me. It lacks a human touch.
Yeah.
And the ones I've enjoyed the most are people who hop on the mic pretty just straight on and have good conversations with people. So I give us a good review, but I want to improve in some listening, sound, audio
Love it.
innovations. What about you?
What would my review be?
Yeah,
My review would say, we need to hear more about Rhett. We don't get to hear
yeah,
much about him.
yeah.
Uh,
Oh,
yeah, I don't, I think, I, I think our goal was to be authentic and real, to share ourselves, to engage with the population, of RT therapists. I think I loved having a niche audience,
yeah,
that we have. Like, so to me, I think having that, our niche audience is people who are connected and love RT therapy. So to me, that's felt so nice to be able to have that same flow. And
yeah,
yeah, so that would be my review would be like, yeah, they had a goal, and they went for it. And I think we did
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, if there's one area I think that we could do better, of course, is but this was hard to do. I think we reached out to people as we could, you know, but I want to have a bigger diversity of voices from
Yeah.
not only like an ethnic background, um, maybe people from some even different faith who are practicing RT to making sure, which I think we did a good job of having a pretty good mix of both male and female on the podcast, you know.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
but just hear different voices from different backgrounds, different countries, different upbringings, experiences like that. I think is important to engage. Wow, there's my dog barking.
Speaking of engaging,
Yeah, I think it's Christmas, you know, there's probably a package at the door, a glass door, and he gets pretty excited.
what's your dog's name?
Okay, Riggins. If any of you ever watched Friday Night Lights, the TV show, Riggins was the running back
Mm,
in the TV show, and we love that character. So Riggins or Riggs for short. It's Australian
Riggs.
Shepherd. So
Yeah. Hey, by the way, I meant to mention this. Like, one of the things I was thinking about with finishing the episodes was you had challenged us to watch Severance. And Jennifer and I finally finished Severance this last week. So talk about, working through. We made it all the way through, and I can see why. I get it. I get it.
yeah, for people listening, there is a few of us on a text thread, I think, and a couple of us loved Severance. I can say
Yes.
that Megan, Eakin, and I love Severance. A few other people were like, Tanner texted me after the first episode, was like, what? And I know Megan has even integrated into her own therapy work, about the innies and the outies and all
Yeah.
that stuff. So it's good stuff.
The con- yeah, I can see like it brings up all the philosophical thoughts and with my innie and my outie, how different would they be? Would my innie be better than my outie or what have you? So
Yeah, I have a
anyways.
lot of hallways in my office that lead out to the exit, and
Oh, that's
people.
great.
I had one client walking all these hallways, and they got to the door, and they're like, "Well, I guess I'm exiting my innie's leaving and going out to be my outie," and they brought up on their own. I was like, "Wow, okay." So, okay, actually, one last question, and then
Okay.
we'll let people head on their holidays.
Yeah.
And this is a question I want everyone thinking about for themselves as they're listening.
Okay.
What is the biggest area of growth for you
Mm.
as it relates to RT in 2026?
Um, yeah, everybody should think about that. Are we answering that question too?
Yes, I want you to answer it. Like when you think about RT, and I'm thinking you as a practicing therapist, right?
Yeah.
Not the community, but what is the biggest area of growth for you as an RT therapist?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, the big thing of growth for me is I'm really working on this performer part of myself.
Mm.
Uh, what I just had my birthday recently, and one of the feedback we do this like because we're therapists and we have to get together and talk about our feelings. One of my therapist that works for me talked about. She said, "You are so joyfully you." And like you are definitely Lance. Like when we interact, like there's a Lance dynamic. It was such a sweet compliment to receive from someone, but I also do think some parts of me have performer in it, and I think that performer where I feel responsible of like saving people and I work really hard, and the job sometimes over the top I turn into like motivational speaker with too many of my clients. So I think I want to start to slow down a little bit more when I get into that like motivational speaker person and really lean in and say, okay, what's actually going to be really helpful for my client today for the long term? Yeah. How would you answer that question?
I
Oh.
mean, that's so foreign. I know nothing about performing. What are you talking about? Um, I think I want to work on really the biggest growth for me, I think, is showing up authentically myself in the room in
Yeah.
2026 and not live in this fear of like I'm inadequate as an RT therapist. Like sometimes I get in
Mm.
my head about this is what it means to be an RT therapist in terms of, and I do think it's important. Like I want to be better at organizing and sequencing things, which
Yeah.
is why I'm excited about your sessions stuff.
It's really awesome.
But sometimes I can get in my head and think, am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? And then I find this anxiety in the room of not just being authentically Rhett. And I think
Mm.
I don't, and my sense is the clients don't feel that, I think, but it's a
Mm.
duel in my own head, which can make therapy not always fun because I'm like battling myself in the room.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Dude, absolutely. Makes perfect sense. Yeah. It's a journey, bro. It's a journey.
Okay, I lied. One more big question.
Okay.
What's your biggest hope for the RT community in 2026? What would you like to see? What's your biggest hope?
Okay. For our community, I am excited. Like one of the big things I really hope for us this next year as RT community is that we get more of our community writing and contributing to other networks. For instance, like Michael's written an awesome book. We're trying to find a publisher for him. You've written a great book. Nicole's got a book coming out. I'm excited to see all of these other people that are contributing to the good work of restoration therapy. I feel like that if we could get some more stuff flowing in that realm, it would be amazing. So that would be my big hope for everybody in the community, is to see, which would be, how awesome would it be, Rhett, if like next year we have 52 Substack posts of people writing about restoration therapy and how they used it in their practice.
Yeah,
That'd
that
be
would be huge.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of, hopefully there's the books you mentioned, a lot of them have been written or kind of written and waiting probably for uh, acquisition, publishing stuff. So there's a lot of good stuff in the works.
Yeah.
Um, I like that. And just a side note too, you don't have to write a book to be involved in the community. We need everybody using their gifts in some way.
Yeah.
Um, whether that's helping out for an event, like volunteering for the RT Summit,
Yep.
to help it, to writing an article on Substack, to wanting to organize some networking in your region,
Yeah.
um, anything. We just want people involved. So that I like that, Lance. That's good. So kind of seeing other people's voices and gifts being used in the community in 2026 is what you're excited about.
Yeah. Yeah. What would you say? Like, what's your big hope for the RT community, or yeah,
I
challenge?
think my biggest hope is, and what I'm excited about is, I want to see people in more face-to-face events.
Yeah.
Um, Kicking off, we hope to have a Texas event here in April with people, and then we have the summit in California in
Yep.
2027, and
In
I'm
March,
hoping that
mark your calendars.
March, early March, like the first week of March, I believe. We'll give
Yeah,
more
first weekend.
details, but I I just think in this environment, in this world, people are dying to connect face to face. And I would like to see at least a couple of times a year that people are connecting either at big events or small events in their community. And you don't have to be to every one, but if I heard, oh, wow, there were like 50 different events around the country, people gathering over like a group of few over coffee or a big event, and I got to like a couple of them myself, like I think that would be really beautiful. So just more face-to-face connections.
Yeah, that'd be so great. But yeah, March 5th and the 6th of 2027. It's gonna come so quick, guys.
Can we
That's the
say where it's
summit.
at?
Yeah, I think we can. I mean,
I think
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna
go
say it.
ahead.
If I get in trouble, I will take the rap, and I'm sorry. Guys, mark your calendars. It's coming. March 5th through the 6th. Just down the street from us. Well, a little bit further down the street at Pepperdine University, we will be having the RT Summit, name to be figured out, but man, it's going to be good. March 5th through the 6th, 2027. It's going to be amazing. Dee Dee Myers organizing it. If you want to help out, please reach out to us. We'll get you guys connected. But we are very excited for 2027 coming big time summit.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want to go to Malibu?
Yeah. Yeah. I think yeah. And we're banning, there's no fires allowed.
Yeah.
No diseases allowed, nothing. It's gonna be great.
So, yeah, if you're there locally in the LA area, we'll need boots on the ground help like
Yeah.
throughout the year and next year and a half. And also if you're coming out to help. And if you're not there locally, we can use help. There's going to be things online that we're going to need help with organizing and planning. So,
Yeah. I mean, the best
how
thing
many
you
people
can
did
do
we
is good.
no, how many people did we have at the one in Amarillo?
130.
Okay, 130.
Yeah.
So, which was awesome. I mean, Tanner and Jet pulling what an amazing event off up in Amarillo. I personally like Amarillo, but it's not the destination. It's not Malibu, right? Especially in February, which it was in. which can be like icy and cold. We
Yeah.
had good weather. So if we had 130 at like the first kind of big summit again after a break because of just natural disasters and stuff,
Yeah.
March of 2027, how many people are we gonna?
I say we sell out.
Yeah. All
That,
right.
I mean, whatever it is, like that we meet capacity of what is given to us.
My hope is that we are well north of 300 people at least. So
That'd be great. I
yeah,
think that's very realistic too.
totally realistic. Yeah, I'm
Um,
excited about that.
if we do a RT paddle out and surf Malibu together, that would be amazing. Have it?
Hey, organize it.
Yeah. Hey, last time I surfed Malibu, I surfed with or not last time, a few times back, I surfed Malibu with your brother-in-law.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. And I forgot my surfboard leash. And he looks at me, he goes, Lance, you can surf without a leash. You're a great surfer. And I like to say that Drew unleashed me.
Uh, there's a
So,
good metaphor there for
oh
therapy
man,
though and stuff.
it was a game changer with my mentality.
Yeah,
Um,
that's really interesting.
yeah. So
All right, we better shut up and let people exit the year here. So, Lance, it's been fun recording all these episodes with you, and I'm looking forward to season 2.
yeah, season 1's in the books. We did it.
Season 1.
Dude, you're the
All right,
best.
thanks, man. It's good getting to know you better this last year. So,
Absolutely.
all right. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Subscribe at all of our channels. Check out the show notes, and we will see you next year.
Peace.
Peace. Later.